It's Tuesday night, so that means it's our Espergenesis game here on Dire Bear. I'm your GM for the evening, Jason, from over the Nerd Eternal Network. And joining me today, as usual, is Deca as Armanto.
I was like, you got this.
Armanto.
Armanto.
Okay. I got it right then.
Yeah, you did.
Eric as Adrian Steele. Zach as Francis.
Hello.
Anna as Jade. And hopefully joining us here in a little bit will be Patrick playing Hull. We're going to be short one player tonight, but we will persevere. All right. Who remembers what happened last week?
I don't.
Cat got shot a lot.
And then suspiciously, she's not here this week. All right, let's see. Yeah, Deca was gone, and let's see. Were we missing Hull last week too?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll have to re-explain all this when he shows up. All right. So to catch Deca up, we had. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where it was you actually started. Was the slippery log last week?
I think so.
Anyway, they were making their way through y'all were all making your way through the wilderness. You came to a ravine. Francis had a little trouble getting across a log. Some drones attacked. It was not a long, drawn out something. But everybody manages to get across without falling off. You camp overnight. The only disturbance is a robotic dog that sneaks into camp and leaves a speaker. You vacated before this, or removed the speaker before you had any chance to find out what it was, or what it was there for. It was just going to be the main villain, mocking you in the morning. But
That's just evil.
Well, you had then.
Sounds good, by the way.
Ah, good.
Back to chat only, so I don't hear my voice.
Yeah, that is distracting. But anyway, you had made it to a clearing. The coordinates you were given, that you'd been tracking towards this whole time. And it was a fairly nice house, low tech by the standards, that you're used to. Though it did have power and mostly modern facilities inside, as well as a large building that he was apparently using to do taxidermy, and another side building that was like kind of his meat processing or whatever. Just he had the whole hunter thing going on. So they wind up splitting up, creeping onto the property. Well, he is basically invisible on the rooftop with his sniper rifle. And as it turns out, Kat was the only visible target the first round, so she caught 3 sniper rounds that first round.
Oh, jeez.
And then his squad of robotic dogs started attacking. But she basically barricaded herself inside the house for part of the fight. And, they took the dogs out, and while the hunter himself ran around loose for a little bit longer, they have taken him down. He is now laying there, barely stable,
Okay.
but conscious and talking, and he's giving you some information that you'd asked for, and he's just trying to talk you into not killing him. He's a Primarin, so killing him would not be permanent anyway. And from his point of view, though, it's a pain to start over with a new body, so he just assumed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And I kind of convinced him that I knew how to permanently lock him in a body.
Right. Or at the very least, he's concerned because you believe you can do it.
Yeah.
He was not completely convinced you could actually do it.
I put my pog up.
And let's see, you had raided his house, you had looted him. Oh, and the tragic, but fairly comedic, there was a minefield. If you're looking at the map in front of his house, that big open area where all the dead doggos are, he had that in mind. Well, Kat and Adrian managed to walk through it with never stepping on anything. The two fellows that you taken captive earlier, that had ambushed you, that previous, the cat guy and his blonde buddy, they were not so lucky.
Oh no.
Marrow made it through okay, but his blonde friend stepped on a mine. It was some sort of incinerator. You step on it and there's a jet of flame that comes up around you. It's not just explosive. Well, of course, he's set on fire, so he stops, drops, and rolls right onto another mine. He does this 4 times in a row.
Holy
I'm rolling
shit.
for him. He does that 4 times in a row and dies.
Oh, wow.
So Marrow he promptly went inside, as soon as he was given permission, went inside the guy's house and hit the wet bar. Is trying to deal with his potential PTSD the old-fashioned way. At least till y'all get off world.
Valid. That's valid.
And we basically wrapped up with them questioning and talking to the hunter. He had explained that he had no particular interest in going after you. He had basically been put up to it with the promise of a favor, which seems to be how the Primarine deal with each other. Is that they just kind of an exchange of favors.
Favor for a favor.
Yeah, he's not actually part of the clique, basically, that's pursuing you. He's like, I ain't really part of them.
But
he just
this
enjoys hunting.
Arc.
Yeah, he just enjoys hunting. You guys seem like you might be a challenge. And, the promise of a favor. Oh, they had also discovered that as soon as he had arrived here, and he was a little embarrassed about this, but as soon as he had arrived here, the clique that had put him up to it were already here to take Danru. So this was supposed to be a contest that, if you were able to survive him and got here, beat him, basically, you'd have your friend. Well, yeah, your friend's not here.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't, he was a little embarrassed. He didn't figure it would matter because he figured he'd kill you before you got here. He's terribly sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
He seemed fairly... His embarrassment about it at least seemed to be honest.
I appreciate professional courtesy, but he's still a dick. Like,
Hey.
Jeremy appreciates professional courtesy. Aramato's still pissed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. Since you weren't here last week, I forgot to have you make any comments about Armanto.
Well, that's why I'm
While
here
this was
now.
going on, he would look at her. He would be surprised when he saw Armanto. I figured the critters had gotten you by now.
Try more than critters to get me. My hand is like over him, and you see the grand blade slowly coming down out of the rig.
Now, I've been cooperating. There's no need for that.
Cooperation, nothing. You destroyed my ship.
I've destroyed a lot of ships.
That doesn't make it right.
Well, no, but it means it wasn't personal. That's what I was getting at. Besides, there wasn't very many people on that ship.
They were all my friends.
Well, now
You have.
this is not going to end well for me. He looks over
Probably
at
not.
Adrian. I've been cooperating. My only request is to
Better
be
hope
left alive.
one of these people better stop me. Pointing to Adrian and.
Well, you'd better stop then, because I have something else in mind.
He whips his hand over like that, and the grand blade still comes out, but he's holding it instead of like straight up stabbing him.
And what is it you have in mind there, fellow?
Well, favor for a favor.
Okay, that's the kind of transaction that I'm used to dealing with. All right. What is it you want from me, and what are you going to do for me?
Well, What I've already done. I just kept him from killing you.
All right, and
In the meantime,
what do you need from me any more than the information I've already given you?
Well, see, the information you gave me was to have our group not kill you. He is someone who just joined us.
So you're going to play the technicality and claim he's not part of your group.
I represent the Toreador. I don't represent these people.
Not so much I'm going to play the technicality. It's more of facts.
Very well. What do you want? What else do you want from me?
What happened to your people that you are dead set on hiding it?
They were wiped out.
Uh-huh. By yourselves?
By the Ganiello.
And who are they?
Trying to think if you had... Oh, no, you had not done anything that would have let him know that you've met them.
Yep.
That's right. You've just been using the Ekajati language.
Mm-hmm. I've only been using the Ekajati language.
Their name translates as something along the lines of wise light. They appear as beings of pure energy.
Hmm. Just as you all appear as beings of prismatic energy?
We appear as prismatic light, yes.
What's the difference between you, then?
It is a similar... They can't physically, other than producing light, they can't physically interact with the... Or they cannot interact with the physical world at all.
Hmm.
Before they transcended, they had established... I guess you would call it robotic factories. They had left behind machines that could take orders from them. That could then build whatever they needed to. So they have great machines hidden in the black between stars that can, in empty solar systems, that can produce things they need when they want to meddle with mortal races.
Mm. Would you happen to know where any of those are?
No. We tend to destroy the any of them that we come across. Even those that aren't part of the sect that's opposing you.
Why?
They're very zealous about hunting these things down. The rest of us, yeah, if we run across one, we'll take it out. We're not going to waste, all of our
What started
eternity.
this feud between you two?
They wanted to uplift everyone like they had been uplifted.
So they wanted everyone to ascend as they did, to become beings of energy.
Mm-hmm. And, well, not everyone wants what they wanted. But
So
they thought they were so wise. And
so
he's getting visibly angry as he talks about this. Like, this is, it's like he was calm, but the more he's talking about it, it's like it's an old grudge, and he's getting himself worked up about it again.
Yeah, this is why Adrian is poking that specific button, because people that get emotional are more prone to start talking.
Ah, finally, I found the guy's name. Turjo. Turjo? Turjo?
Has that been his name the whole time, and we've just been calling him like Hunter or something?
No, this is the head of the clique that's after you. Okay. I was trying to remember his name last week, and I was thinking it was Edis, but Edis was a planet y'all had been on.
So, they wanted to do this regardless of what others thought.
My people had put them, had held them up as leaders of a sort. So they felt they had the authority to do it to us. Whether the majority of us agreed to it or not.
Well, then how did you become energy?
They attempted it. We attempted to stop them. So the process, whatever, and don't ask me the technical. I was not a scientist at the time. I don't know any of the technical details. But essentially, our attempt to stop it stopped it from functioning correctly. So in that form, we can't still interact with the physical world to some degree.
I see.
And eventually we learned to take bodies of the, relatively recently deceased.
So why were they bothering with genetically uplifting people then?
What do you mean?
Well, we've run into some of their work before. There's a people that were removed from their home because of a faulty crucible, as far as they know. Well, they were primitive still, kind of at the time, and they were genetically modified to be able to survive on the planet that they were placed.
Oh, the Ekajati. Yeah, that was something they were doing.
Oh, okay.
They did not go around just randomly choosing to manipulate and interfere with the natural development. I recall, I think the race you're talking about, and yes, a faulty crucible, something had damaged it, and it was just sending out pulses of energy, which is the origin of Esper abilities. But in the large doses that planet was getting, it was causing random mutations.
Right.
It was in danger of causing massive extinction event, just an ongoing extinction event. They didn't think life would have survived
mutation.
Yeah, they didn't think life would have survived really for too long.
So, did you used to be the Ekajati, or were you separate?
He seems hesitant to answer. I have your word that you will leave me alive.
Yes, I already gave you that.
I
mean, honestly,
that your group won't kill me, that he won't kill me.
No one will kill you. I will physically attempt to stop them myself if they try.
Very well.
Yeah. Attempt.
The only other condition I put on this is, if you reveal that you know this to any other of the Primarin, you do not tell them who squealed.
An additional condition onto that, then. We exchange contact information so I could speak to you in further detail on it if I have questions in the future. And before you say anything else about it, such a deal may potentially sway us to your side. Of your people, anyway. Because so far, all we have dealt with is Primorans such as you attempting to kill us. There haven't been any that have actually exchanged discourse like this.
We don't tend to talk about ourselves. I assure you, there are plenty in the universe that have no interest in you. Over the years, the majority of us have taken to whatever pursuits interest us. I was a hunter even before what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Others, may enjoy pursuing science for its own sake. So they may move around, every few generations pop up as a research scientist here or there, or whatever their hobby is, whatever their interest was. Some run around doing humanitarian work. For some, their purpose in life is wine, women, and song.
So, in a way, hedonism.
It's like he chews on that word for a little bit. I can't say that's inaccurate.
Well, I mean,
it's not everybody is something that you would typically think of as hedonism, but it's, yeah.
Well, if it's seeking something for the purpose of your own pleasure, whether it be physical, mental, what have you, then if it's to the exclusion of all else, it could be considered such.
Yes, I suppose you're correct.
So back to my original question before we got sidetracked.
Oh, here's the deal. Very well. I'll agree. You keep my name out of your mouth.
I don't even know your name other than Hunter.
That would be enough for them to know it was me.
Fair enough. Okay.
And I will answer when you call at a later date. I will answer and be as helpful as I can.
Then we have an accord.
All right.
You all see Aramanto walk off and start stacking rocks in a makeshift grave to make a makeshift grave. Just finds a bunch of rocks.
Who's he burying?
His crew?
If I were to guess, his crew.
Oh.
Or at least the memory of him.
Sorry, I didn't realize he was asking. I didn't realize Hunter was asking. I thought
No,
that
was just me. That was just me asking. Who's he gonna bury?
Oh. I thought that was the Hunter asking.
Yeah. I thought that was the Hunter.
No, that was just me.
I thought it was
going,
the
well, your crew died a while back. You'd have probably already buried them.
I mean, it's still a memorial.
Yeah. That makes sense. Oh, let's see. What was your original question? Oh, yes. You were asking if the Primarin were the Ekajeti.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that was us.
I see. Wonder you look so surprised when I started speaking.
It is not a language that I hear often, other than from other Primarin.
I see.
And we know each other when we come into contact, so it's not a surprise when it happens again.
Well, surprise.
You have discovered a fair amount about us in a very short period of time. I'm not sure that has ever happened before.
Well, and thanks to you deciding to make a deal as opposed to outright trying to kill me after this, that information will be kept secret and just with me.
Good. The last thing we need is people running around, poking around, trying to find us.
Yeah, imagine.
I mean, honestly, for me, the thing that most interests me is just new technology, all things considered.
That's true.
That's the only reason I've been doing this is because there's something new. I suppose you could call it my own hedonistic flaw.
Yeah, I guess the current races haven't caught up with us yet.
No, they have not by a long shot. So it's new and it's interesting, and I wanted to learn more, and then all of this started happening.
He starts kind of working his way, trying to stand. Well, if that concludes our business,
Adrian will help him up.
Thank you. If that concludes our business, I will make my way back into the house and see about fixing this old body up.
First, and he'll hold out the tablet for the man's contact info.
Oh, yes, of course.
555-271.
I will punch you in the taint. Yeah.
No, and I think he may have given you the contact information last time, but
No, I don't think he did. I think we were still debating whether or not we were going to kill him at that point.
Or he had at least explained the nature of it, because it's. Oh no, he had told you how the Primarin communicate with each other with dead drops, and it's
Yeah.
they're very secretive. Yes, he gives you just a plain old phone number essentially of the human of the the hunter is human currently, the human identity he's been using. He has an identity in government databases and stuff.
Mhm.
So he gives you that with don't just call him up. It's a secure line kind of thing.
Yeah.
How you doing? The little curl on the telephone line.
Good grief.
What you thinking about?
And now I'm picturing him laying on his stomach, kicking his feet behind him.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Great. The party out hunted him, and now he's got a crush on them. All of them.
All of them at once.
What have we done?
As you all turn around or whatever, Aramanto is like meditating, and you see his rig kind of glowing as he meditates.
Well, he goes, well, that concludes our business. I'll let you be on your way.
That does indeed.
Francis gently grabs the hunter by his shoulder and just gets up very close.
Now, we had a deal, young man.
If I ever see you in this body or any other body, I will eat you alive.
Unless I call him.
You see him on the comms, like, you eat the computer.
I can't promise I won't threateningly wave a bottle of steak sauce.
That works.
That's disconcerting. Aramanto meditating, he says, I like that guy. He's like this. Or if he's like this, like cross arm like this. I like that guy.
I will endeavor to make sure that we do not meet.
To your health, then.
And he limps into his, into his house.
Right. Shall we call home? I would rather not be on this planet anymore.
Yeah, let's get the hell off it.
All right, you have, you have Marrow's communication equipment. And your comms by themselves will probably reach orbit at least.
Yeah.
Eventually, go ahead.
So what are we going to do with Marrow? We're just going to leave him here, or we're going to take him with us?
I think he was cooperating with you with the promise of getting back to civilization.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Or at least that's all he seemed to be interested in was, him and Blondie getting home, and, well, now it's just him.
Eventually, Aramanto gets up and turns to face the rest of the party and looks at them and squints and says, I guess I'm gonna join you all as well. Puts the grand blade up, goes back into little rivets on his forearm.
Congratulations, you've just hired me. So you came to this planet, or this moon, looking for a sentinel, and you found one. It wasn't the exact make and model you were looking for, but, it'll get you where you're going.
Aramanto has, in parentheses, officially joined the party.
Ping. Alright, so who's calling who, and how y'all calling him?
I suppose we should use Mero's equipment to call his ship to get him out of here,
Okay.
and then ring up Jim and have him pick him up. Have Jim pick us up.
Yeah. All right. What was? Oh, well, I don't remember if Mero. I don't remember if y'all had the name of Mero's ship or not, but you fire up his equipment. You know, he gives you he had already given you the passcodes to it. You wait a few minutes. There's no answer. You wait a few more minutes. There's no. You wait long enough that with this kind of equipment, you should be getting a response from anywhere in the system. Mero is starting to look worried. I know he wouldn't have left us. We pay him too well for him to have left us.
We
Sounds
should
like
call
what happened with
Jim.
All right. And you can do that on y'all's comms, or you can redo the frequency on Mero's to. You know,
We'll use our comms.
for whatever frequency the roustabout uses. You fire up your comms, and there is a significant delay. But you do eventually get a staticky response. You can recognize Jim's voice. You think he's saying that he can barely hear you?
Hey Hunter, what's the Wi-Fi password?
Oh, he's already walked into the house. But you also, eventually you make out the words, on his way. And as time passes, the signal starts coming in stronger. You know, he tries you back, 10 minutes later or so, and the signal's coming through much better. You can hear each other, understand each other. Are you guys all right? Did you find Danru?
No, we didn't find Dan, but did find a new friend. And we got a lead on where Dan actually is.
So the guy was lying, and he wasn't even here.
Half truth.
Oh, that is.
Let's just leave it at half truth.
I hope
A
y'all.
very convenient half-truth. Aramanto says, "Hello, my
Oh,
name is
that's a-
Araman."
Oh, pleased to meet you. I'm Jim. Well, he doesn't wave. You're only getting audio.
Oh, the comm signals.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was already landed. My bad.
But
okay.
no, not yet.
I might have my hand out like this, like a jackass.
Jim sounds exhausted. You don't know you've ever heard the man sound this tired. This is gonna need to be a quick extract, guys. They've
Why?
Oh, I'm pretty sure as soon as I left the asteroid belt I was hiding in, I'm sure they're heading this way now.
Who's headed this way?
A couple of ships might be unmanned, some kind of unmanned drone. They shot into the system almost as soon as I got back into orbit of dropping y'all off. I've been having to move around and hide from them the last couple of days. Let's see, y'all camped what, 2 or 3 times? It's been at least it's been somewhere in the 2 to 4 day range that you've been on this moon. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten more than a half hour of sleep at a time since y'all been down there.
See.
Uh, eventually you see him coming down because he's pinged your comm, so he's got your coordinates. He lands in this big open space over here close to the house. Because the roustabout's way too big for that one little.
Yeah.
As he lands, the ship sets down on a couple of the mines. So the landing gear hit and fire shoots out from either side of them. But they're designed as anti-personnel, so they're not doing anything really noticeable to the ship.
Giving it a cool paint job.
Yeah, I mean they're scratching. It's messing the paint up. Is basically it. Probably a couple of points of damage because going from player level weapons to ship level weapons is a factor of 10. So.
Oh jeez, yeah, that's like 1 hit point each.
Yeah, the grenade. If the mine did 10 points of damage, the ship takes 1. So, however, the ship looks like it's been in a fight prior to arriving.
What does the ship look like?
Oh, that's right. You've probably never seen the roustabout.
No, I haven't.
Come on now. I know I had his picture.
The only one that's on the bio looks like it's a broken link.
Let's see. Let me just grab the one I use as a mini. There we go. Alright, if you're looking on the farm map.
Oh, jeez. Nice.
And that's it. Yeah, probably more proportional like that because it's doing weird things trying to fit it into the grid. But
Yeah.
or if you got your cam up and can see it, there's a miniature of it.
Oh wow, you have a mini of it. That's actually really cool.
Oh yeah, we've also got official maps of it, which would be a good time for me to pimp that guy's side out. When the game started up, I got permission from a fella that runs zerohour.com. Yeah, zerohour.com. 0-hr.com. That sells poster maps up for ships with the miniatures for the ship. He did a board game with them, but I don't know if it's still in print or not. But you can still get the ships and the maps and all that. Or digital copies,
Right.
which is what I use on here. And, he was cool with me using the pictures of the ships and the maps of the ships.
Aw, that's cool.
Yeah, so I try to give out his address anytime one pops up. Anyway. So like I said, the roustabout lands. It has clearly been shot up. Jim comes down the gangplank. He does not step off the gangplank, as he is looking around at what caused the commotion when he landed.
You just landed on some anti-personnel mines. It's fine.
Oh, great. Like we didn't have enough repairs to do.
I mean, we could probably just buff it out if we have to.
He kind of looks up at some of the bigger shots where, the aft of the ship has clearly been shot many times. Well, a few times. Alright, if y'all are ready to go, we probably need to get on out of here.
Yeah. Let me grab Morrow. Don't want to leave him here. I actually feel kind of bad about doing that.
Who's Morrow?
Oh, they got another guy. Hi.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Aramonto. Nice
Oh,
to meet
yeah,
you.
Jim shakes your hand. Yeah, pleased to meet you. How are you? How are you already here?
Probably the same way you guys got here.
He kidnapped a buddy of yours?
Something like that.
Oh.
You see You see, like the gears turning in Aramanto's head. So that's what happened to the Toreador. Okay, and he walks in. He walks in without even being invited.
All right, so all y'all load up. Morrow walks out. He's got a couple of things of whiskey or bourbon or something, in each hand.
Hey, Jade, we got a new friend.
Yeah.
Here's drinks.
Oh, I'd have brought more if I thought everybody else wanted some.
Still can.
So everybody loads up in the ship. You take off. Let's see. Who in the party could? Oh, that's right. Danru was the only guy in the party that could pilot.
I have the ability to.
But Jim wouldn't know that, so he wouldn't say anything to you about it. But you see him fumble with the controls a little bit at the control panel.
What's the? If you're gonna make me roll for it, what's the roll for vehicle space?
You basically have to be. I think you have to be proficient with the vehicle.
I am. Well, I'm proficient with space vehicles.
Yeah. And I think it's just Dex after that.
Okay. Let me.
Let
Well,
me,
I'm asking just to make it, just to do it here on the. So I'm not just querying an attribute. I can put Dex.
All right, let's see here.
Am I adding anything to it because it's a nice ship?
Because it's a what ship?
Because it's a nice ship.
All right, let's see here. Let's see. All right. So if you're proficient with the ship, the basic landing, takeoffs, flying it around, you don't really have to roll for.
Right. It's more for like being in dogfights and stuff.
Right.
Right.
Or if there's something else that's causing, the planet behind you is exploded and you're dodging chunks of planet, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I'll walk up and just kind of like look at it like, hang on, I got this, and start messing
thanks.
with.
Basically, you pop down in the co-pilot chair and kind of take over. Huh.
It,
Our last Sentinel could pilot.
It's a Sentinel thing.
He kind of looks over. He takes a close look at your eyes. Are you sure you're not Danru? No. Okay.
Pretty sure.
Danru was a Kesh, so he could change his face, but his eyes would always stay jet black.
Yeah. We had a cache on our ship.
Oh, what happened to your ship?
Likely a worse version of what happened to your ship.
Oh, y'all got lured here. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have thought before I asked that. Is that what happened to the cat guy too? Is he one of yours?
No, he's unfortunately not. But I mean, I feel like this is just a pattern with this person.
Lure them in, blow up their ships once they're. I hope y'all shot him several times.
They wanted to kill him, but they didn't let me.
You didn't? Hold on.
Adrian.
He gets up out of the chair. He leaves you flying. He walks back to where the rest of the crew is. You didn't kill this guy?
I wanted to eat him, but Adrian made a deal, and I'm pretty sure Adrian could kick my ass if he had to. So there.
You're not wrong, considering the day.
He looks over at Adrian. What kind of deal did you make with him?
One where I learned a considerable amount of information, and I now have a personal contact with their entire race.
Okay, I guess that is substantial. I'd have slept better knowing he was dead, though.
Yeah, me too.
Well.
For its kind, death is just an inconvenience.
Oh
God, it
yeah,
would've been
he is one of those
satisfying.
things, isn't he? Well, Jim makes his way back up. As he's walking back into the, you know, cockpit, he does tell you everybody probably needs to be in the battle stations, you know, when we break orbit.
All right, so you ready to go?
All right, so y'all are off
Poof.
into the black.
I like eventually started explaining. I used to be a pretty good pilot before I was, but we had our own. But I just kept it just in case. Kept the skills, active just in case.
All right. So as you are leaving orbit, hang on just a second. I'm trying to. All right, somebody that's really familiar with Roll20, how do you make the auras around miniatures visible to everybody?
No
We can
idea.
do it on our end. We can do it on our end because you click on the menu and then you go into the options. Pretty much where the same place where the health bar is. You just set a radius.
I have done that, and I can see it on my GM screen, but not on the screen I'm recording, which would be what y'all would see.
Interesting. That's Is it someone? Is it a creature who is also on the GM layer? Because that might do it.
All right, I found it.
Oh,
You gotta go into the advanced and check
Ah.
a box to let people see the auras. Okay.
Gotcha.
It's important only in that it makes them show up better on the map. Is why I'm doing
That's
it, so
fair.
everybody can tell.
Yeah.
Just think of it as your ship's sensors pinging enemies versus friendlies.
Ping, 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 ping.
That, and since I'm using the same miniature, it makes them, I can say the red one or the orange one to identify.
Gotcha.
All right. As you're leaving, much as Jim predicted, as soon as you break orbit, you pick up on these two ships coming in. They're not as close to you as it looks on the map quite yet. But they are coming in from outside this planet's, system of moons. Much like Jim did, The solar
Alright,
system
looks
has
like
an
we got
asteroid
incoming,
belt,
y'all.
and that's where Jim had been hiding. He'd been moving from asteroid to asteroid, basically trying to avoid them.
That looks like incoming.
All right. Are you going to try to just run? Are you going to engage? Are you going to try to communicate with them? What do you want to do?
Oh damn, that's actually me because I'm the pilot. Shit.
Well, I imagine the entire party will voice their opinions.
Sure.
Adrian's
Yeah.
offended running, honestly, after this.
Yeah, as beat up as the roustabout has been described as, I think making a run for it is the better.
It's taking a few shots to the rear. It's not about to blow up or anything.
Yeah, it looks like I'm looking at the health bar. It doesn't look that bad.
It's
I'm still. Aramatsu is also of the mind of fleeing right now because he's had a long couple of months. He just wants to go to some civilization.
and keep in mind, Jim
alright.
flying the ship by himself couldn't fire back, so
Yeah.
this is not the kind of ship that you can really do it all yourself.
All right. Let's take our time. Let's think about this logically. 2 ships, one of us. There's a bunch of us in here, and he keeps going on like that, on and on. Screw it. Let's go.
All right. Time movement. All right, give me a piloting check for your initiative.
Sure. It's just a vehicle roll.
Yeah, it's. Hang on, let me find where. Make sure I get the. All right, piloting maneuver check. It's a D20 plus your proficiency score, if applicable. You're proficient with the ship, so that's applicable.
Yes.
Plus your dexterity.
Okay. That is 11.
Okay.
Sorry, that's 10. The little dot on the 6 is hard.
Clear. Give him a turn.
Just a second. Yeah, that's it.
Alright, so they both get turns. And you said you had a 10?
Yes.
And they. Ah, there it is. A 7 and a 13.
Okay.
Alright. And what you pick up on the sensors, these two ships are maybe a third the size of the roustabout. You know, they are not large. They might be starfighters, or they might be, like Jim suggested, they may be unmanned drones. At no point did he get any communications from them. They didn't respond to any communications he sent out.
Alright, so... I have something, I just have to look in the book.
Okay.
Because I speak Alomu.
What is a Lomu?
That's what I'm looking at.
Basically, the tech language.
It's tech language.
Oh, it's
So
like,
I
it's like
wasn't
speaking
sure.
binary in Star Trek, or Star
Yeah,
Wars. Okay.
yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. So maybe they understand that. So as we begin, I'll try to hail them and say, this is the, what's the name of the ship again?
The roustabout.
Roustabout.
I'm asking them. I'm not asking as the
I'm
player.
sorry. The character.
Roustabout.
This is speaking in Alomu. This is the roustabout. What? You're in our space. We're just trying to leave. What
In your flight
what is your
path.
intention? Yeah, you're in our flight path. What are your intentions?
You get a response
Ooh.
in a relatively pleasant sounding voice.
Oh shit.
Greetings, roustabout. Please stand down and be destroyed.
Is this also in Alomu or is this just in
This is in
common?
Lomu.
Haha! Yes.
Adrian just sort of walks up and is like, oh, lovely.
They are trying to kill us, and they
Yeah,
don't speak,
I heard.
They don't speak. You speak Alomu.
I do.
That is good to know. All right, we're going to. Oh, it's their turn now. So.
Okay, well, they're far enough away at this point that
Oh, okay.
they're not gonna start shooting yet. But I mean, they are racing towards you.
Okay. All right. I'm looking at my pilot, and I'm just like, all right, get ready to fire. We're gonna probably have to go through them to get out. They are actually just in our flight path. We're gonna try not to, but if we have to, I mean, or this ship can defend itself, right?
We have a few guns and a rocket launcher, yes.
Ooh, rocket launcher. I haven't had one of those on a ship before.
All right, there's the stats for the roustabout. Ship size large. Armor class is 16, though the armor class is factored in. Now that I think about it, I think the pilot and stuff depends on that to some degree.
Is that the base armor class? And then my awesome +1 to dexterity helps, or
I think the base may have been 15 plus somebody else's dexterity, or 14. Okay. I think it was 14, and Jim had like a +2, or Taylor's or Danru had a +2 or some such.
is it the dex mod or is it the vehicle mod?
Let's see. You know, it may be the maneuver defense that changed depending on who was piloting it. That may be what's going on.
Okay, mine's a +4.
Ship stats, AC. Armor class is modified by the pilot's dexterity.
Damn it. Okay, it's a +1.
So you've got a +1. So your armor class currently would probably be a 15 rather than a 16 then. So
Okay.
I want to say it had a +2 on it prior.
I think the 16 was from Danru.
Yeah. Yeah, because he tended to pilot in combat.
Yeah. Although I think once we hit next level and we get a feat, Kat was planning on picking up the pilot feat. Become
Well,
our
now you
pilot.
Well, now you know I know how to fly. But
Yep.
I
But
think
it
Cat
never
would be
hurts
the
to
better-
have backups.
Sure. So how would that work in the case of having like a co-pilot that's also a PC?
Let's see. There was something in here about co-pilots. But I ain't got time to find it right now.
That's fair. Make it up.
And I'm here.
Oh,
Hello.
Hull's here.
Hey, welcome. We're about to get shot.
We're entering ship combat.
We are in a good news, bad news scenario. Adrian cut a deal with the hunter, so you got a fair amount of information. You know what the Primarin used to be.
Well, he does anyway.
Oh, that's right. Y'all were talking in the
Yeah, they were talking
Y'all
in
were
the
speaking
Primaran tongue. Yeah.
Ekajati. So really, all y'all know is he's cut a deal with the hunter. So y'all left him alive. You called down Riley. Oh, that's right. Patrick, you missed last week, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
You had gotten to the hunter's residence. There was an ambush, a big fight. Cat got shot by a sniper rifle 3 times in the first round. Because everybody else had either not stepped out yet or were coming out from another angle you couldn't see. Anyway,
Oh,
big fight with him and a bunch of robo-dogs. Dogs went down pretty quick. It turns out when dogs fight alligator people win. Especially when they have lightsabers.
That's true.
Hunter got shot up pretty good, but you took him alive. He cut a deal for you to spare him. You know, being a Primarin, death is an inconvenience for him, not the end. But he talked like it's a chore to break in a new body. He'd rather avoid that. What kind of deal can we cut? So they got some information out of him. And an additional deal was made that if any of the Primarin find out what you know, you keep his name out of your mouth. You don't let nobody know he's the one that let you in on the secrets. And to pay for that one, Basically, he had to give you his personal contact information, and Adrian can call him up to quiz him at a future date if he wants to.
Neat. And also, did we level up last game?
Yes.
All right, I'll have them mod to my character sheet. That's where 6 level. Correct.
Let's see, what else was it? Made a deal with him. Jim came down. The roustabout had looked like had been in a fight. It turns out as soon as he left orbit after dropping y'all off, some sort of fighter ships, drones, something came in and started attacking him. So he spent the last 3 or 4 days, dodging around these moons, hiding in the asteroid belt, trying to avoid them. So he shows up exhausted because he's gotten very little sleep during all this. Luckily, your new Sentinel buddy can pilot, so he is currently piloting. As soon as you break orbit out of the moon, you're being approached by these 2 ships. They never responded to Jim talking to them. When Aramanto speaks to them in the language of machines, they respond very cheerfully. Greetings, roustabout. Please stand down to be destroyed.
They're forthcoming. I appreciate it.
And the way they talk, you don't think they're... I mean, clearly it's an artificial intelligence speaking. You don't think they're like self-aware level artificial intelligence.
It's like androids versus robots.
Yeah, it's the I am Johnny Cat. I am here to kill you.
Basically.
That's right. You haven't seen Total Recall, have you?
I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've never managed to sit down and watch it from beginning to end, though.
Okay.
So, I guess we'll get to it when we get to it. But when we do get into weaponry, is that someone else's role or is that mine?
No. You have a list of pilot maneuvers.
Which I will look at. It's on the thing. I'll pick it up.
Oh yeah, in the book it'd be page 192.
Yeah. It's written here.
Oh yeah, I did type all that in, didn't I? Well, couldn't.
Yeah, you did.
I forgot about the handouts. We haven't done a ship combat in a little bit, so. All right. So you were manning. You're the pilot. Generally, Francis and Jade and Kat, when she's here, will man the guns and/or missile launchers, and then the.
That was me rolling my health, by the way.
Oh, okay. And then the technician job tends to get split between Hull and Adrian, because some of those are intelligence based and some of those are wisdom based. So they kind of split it down the middle. You can only do one of the maneuvers around, but we go with whichever one's stat is better for the maneuver.
Whoever happens to be nearby at the time.
Because one of them is like a point higher on intelligence, the other one's a point higher on wisdom. All right, so you spend a couple of rounds basically racing towards each other.
Okay.
So as far as combat, we'll start up with y'all in the kind of the positions you are here.
All right. Let's see.
See if I can shrink this. It's not showing on camera too much. All right. But you guys should still be able to see it when you need to. All right, so top of the order as you approach. Your best guess so far is these things seem to be just a little bit faster than the roustabout. But of course, you can take them, make some maneuvers and so forth.
So I can do. I was gonna say. That was gonna be the idea. So I can do an evasive action, and they can still fire.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Then that's what I'll do. I will take an evasive action.
All right. Now the way
choosing those ships.
The way it works in this,
What is the save DC? Is it 10 plus my piloting?
8 plus your proficiency bonus, plus your dex.
What's my dex? 8 proficiency. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10,
It's
11.
just like a spell save in 5th edition.
Right. 13.
All right.
I'm sorry, 12. Yeah, 12.
All right. So they go first. And you said you were doing which? You were going to do the evasive?
Yeah, I would say I was doing evasive action as I'm coming in.
Okay.
As we like approach.
So each target.
Dex save.
Okay. So you have that's basically that would be last round as you were prepping for.
Yes.
So starting up, the 13 was red, I believe. So he's got a move of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's going to take his dexterity save to try to overcome your evasive maneuvers. Ooh, a 1 on the dice. So that's a 3 total.
All right. Yes, a shoot with disadvantage.
Yes, he does. I should not flip away from this.
Until the end of your ship's next turn, or until you perform another piloting maneuver, whichever comes first. Interesting.
All right. So he. Oh, I guess I got to roll the hit before I roll damage, right? All right. So firing his autocannon at disadvantage. Oh.
Did you roll a natural 20 and then have disadvantage?
No. It was 18 and then disadvantage. So let's see.
I'm a little rusty at this, guys, but I think I got it.
Oh, and it would be long range, which
Is that disadvantage anyway?
either that or it's some kind of minus. All right, so that was a miss. All right, now it's y'all's go. So you can make another. All right. So what piloting maneuver are you activating this time?
All right. Okay. Then I will say whichever one of you is doing the technician work back there, better be on standby. I'm gonna dogfight this one in front of us.
Okay.
I'm gonna make my movement, or I'll take the movement, and then I'll do the dogfight maneuver.
Okay.
It's what, movement 5?
Yes, the roustabout has a movement of 5.
I can't control the roustabout, so I'm trusting you to do that.
Just straight towards him.
Yeah, straight toward. And that is a piloting maneuver check versus the maneuver defense of the target ship. So it would obviously be the ship in range.
Okay. And his maneuver defense
I rolled a natural 20. So that's a 24 total.
Yeah, that definitely beats him. All right, what does the dogfight give?
Gives our attacks... It's like a reckless swing. But
Okay, gotcha.
the technician can spend a bonus action to raise the shields or with an intelligence save.
All right, it's an intelligence saving throw to save versus the DC.
If the tech on duty wants to do that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Technicians, what are you going to do?
Okay, that was
And remember, you can only take one technician action, so,
Yeah.
y'all can debate amongst yourselves which one.
Okay, I can give us a power boost, which would make our speed increase, or grant the next maneuver made by a pilot or gunner. The bonus sneaks equal to a D4 plus my wisdom modifier. Alternatively, I could boost the shield, which would increase her AC by 2.
You can also modify the shield as a bonus action.
Is that what the...
Well, that's part of the dogfight. You can make a bonus action to make an intelligence save versus.
Okay, if
versus,
it's an intelligence save, Adrian, you're up.
Okay. But I feel like whoever's on tech duties probably do both the action and the bonus action.
Well, that's a bonus action, so
correct.
You'll
still
still
have a
get
main
one of your
action.
technical maneuvers.
Okay. So we get this one for free since you did the dogfight. Gotcha.
Right, that's part of the
Yes.
dogfight.
Mostly
Alright.
free, yeah. Takes your bonus action.
Figure I can boost the shields.
You have to beat a 12. You have to beat a 12.
This is...
Now, the shield boost is a DC 14. Wisdom
No,
check mechanics.
this is a technician maneuver.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
He's jacking the
all
AC
this-
up a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And then
Sorry.
Adrian will have to, I think, roll for the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so give us a roll there, Patrick.
Where with the end there is, and it's just a base wisdom, I believe. Yeah. Where'd my dice work? Okay. There you go.
18.
All right, so y'all have a +2 to your AC.
Woo!
So your AC is currently... Let's see,
It's like
a
17?
16. No, wait. That's a +2, +2.
Base
Yeah,
14.
Yeah, 17.
Base 14 plus 1, yeah.
All right. Now, Adrian, if you wanted to
Mm-hmm.
fiddle with the shield... Let's see.
It's an intelligence save versus my
Yeah,
DC.
and what this does is the dogfight gives your gunners advantage on their attacks, but the other guys get advantage on you. With an intelligence check,
Okay.
if you succeed, you stop them from getting that advantage.
Yeah, that would work.
And since it's a
And
bonus
that's
action,
also-
you can do it in
yeah.
addition to what Patrick did.
Okay.
DC is 12, so it's not like the biggest. It's the advantage of not having a very high pilot DC.
Well, he's got to make that versus... He's making that versus you or versus them?
It's versus me.
Oh, okay.
Because the idea is, I guess the idea is like I'm the one moving the ship, so he has to combat that.
Oh, okay.
And it's an intelligence save.
Okie. And that's just the bonus action to when they attack?
That's the bonus. Yeah,
It's your
all it
bonus
does-
action for the round.
Oh, okay.
So you can do that,
So-
and y'all can still do y'all's technician move.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that, and then you said Hull already did something?
Yeah, Hull boosted the shield, so you've got a +2 to your AC.
Oh, okay. My brain is mush. Alrighty,
Yeah,
so...
I understand.
Yeah.
Had a
So...
bad day.
And we don't do quite enough ship combat for us to all just really be on point with it.
So... 17?
And you needed
beat it.
12, I believe. So, yes. Now for our
It's,
gunners.
Ooh.
What would
so
the gunners
gunning
like to do?
We're gonna shoot the guns.
Bold move. Let's see how it works out for him, Cod. All right.
You
So
have
you have a
advantage
variety
on
of
your
things
weapon.
you can do while shooting the guns. You can simply attack. You can do covering fire, focused aim, ready.
It's just gonna be a straight attack.
Okay.
Seeing as how
With
we already have
advantage.
advantage.
Yes.
You could target systems.
We'll just see about taking out their HP first. See how tough these guys are first. All right. First shot is Francis on the autocannons. That's unfortunate.
That is
pretty
rather unfortunate. Let's see.
And you said you just wanted to attack too, Anna?
Yeah.
Okay. Does 15 hit?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I meant to be using the snap tool thing, so it's like laser blasts. Oh well. Lost opportunity. Lost opportunity.
Pew, 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 pew. I respect that.
All right. The 11, of course, did not hit. The 15, however, does.
Is that also the autocannon, or is that something else?
Yeah, is Jade manning the other autocannon, or is Jade manning the missile?
Yeah, which you shooting? Missiles or autocannons? Since Cat's not all the missiles, she's probably going to be on that because, bigger guns go boom.
Okay.
2d6. That's
That was
2d6, I think.
D4s. That was D4s you rolled.
Oh.
I mean, I'm fine with it. If you want to just go with that number.
Do not nerf yourself, please.
Actually, enough, you rolled the same. At least, oh wait, no, okay, I see that.
No, it's the same on one of the die.
Yeah.
All right. I should probably look over at how many whole points they've actually got.
I'm gonna make the sound effects for the day, guys.
All right. And did 8 points to him. It manages to almost get out of the way when the missile explodes, but it's clearly taking a good bit of damage. Not enough that it's not still coming at you, but
In a low move, I mimic their pleasant voices. I'm like, I guess it's your turn.
Roustabout, please quit firing and stand down to be destroyed.
No. I look back and say, well, they said please, but I'm not about this.
Alright, that was the Roustabout's turn, and now it's this one's turn. He'll move down next to his buddy. Alright, and they're at disadvantage. Oh, no. Dogfight does not give them. That's right.
Dogfight would have given them advantage, but we beat that. We beat the shield.
One of the technicians took care of that little problem.
Yes.
Alright, so it's just going to flat out attack you.
Okay.
Yeah, just add to roll its hit points. Or its HP, rather. Alright. So it is firing an autocannon.
Okey-dokey.
I'm assuming a 13 does not hit the Roustabout.
13 misses.
Especially at the moment.
Yeah.
Top of the order is red. And again, the ships are just barreling towards each other. The last time they were in a fight and this happened, they took the other ship out, but it still managed to ram them.
Good to know.
And then they repelled a boarding party, and then they boarded the other ship. And there was much shooting that day. All right, he gets closer, takes a shot at you. Gets a... Let's see. It's a 16, but y'all are currently at a 17.
Plus 2, yeah.
So would have hit.
Good job
but
on
your
those
shield.
shields!
And it's the roustabout's turn again.
Alright. Charge towards me. I don't have 10 units to move.
What do you mean?
It says, for the attack run, it says you must move a minimum of 10 units. But as I recall, I only have 5 movement. I mean, I guess I can... Is there a dash I can do with the ship?
Let's see. You move your ship directly towards an enemy ship you choose within weapon range. Let's see. Make a piloting maneuver check versus the opponent's maneuver. That doesn't
It's
make
fine,
sense
my
because I don't think I've seen a single solitary ship that's got 10 movement.
Well, it's also probably moot because I have a shitty dex modifier anyway.
Because I was assuming that the movement was kind of a directly one-to-one translation, or on the map. Let's see.
I'm probably just gonna go for another dogfight action.
Okay.
Just fine. Piloting maneuver. Blah, 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 blah. That is a 17.
Yeah, for the moment, I'm going to assume that 10 is a misprint because ships don't get that
Does it
fast.
say that in the book too?
Yeah.
That's weird. I rolled a 17 on my dogfight.
Unless it's saying you just can't go from standing still to an attack run. Because you were moving last round too. That might be it.
Yeah. Maybe.
Alright.
I'm also yeah moving up as I'm firing or as I'm doing this. So.
So did I move the
But
ship
I'm gonna
already?
I don't think you
No, I
did.
don't think I had this. Not this round. Okay.
Not this round. I was gonna say I'm also like veering like a little like that a little off to the side.
Alright, but you had done the dog fight and you made that roll.
Yes. I rolled
Or
a
had-
17.
Okay. So what do our technicians want to do this round?
Well, we could do the same thing.
I'm gonna have to go through them. They seem bent on our destruction.
They are merely following orders. Because
I don't know
Android
that.
hell is real and they will go there if they disobey.
I don't know that.
No, Android heaven.
What was that, Patrick? You broke up.
Oh, I was making a Crichton quote.
I thought that's what I had done. Alright, Patrick.
Alright, if we're going at them, Adrian, I recommend you do a pinpoint targeting.
Yeah, I can do that. Points. Intelligence computers. Actually, how far away are they right now?
The red one is...
We're pretty damn close. It's like
Yeah,
2 movement.
1, 2, 3, 4. More like 5. I'm counting the center squares as kind of where you are.
Okay.
I just didn't want to make y'all that small.
Alrighty. How about Hull, you do something, because what I'm gonna try to do is activate Black Hat and see if I can hack one of them.
Oh boy.
What is the range on Black Hat?
Black Hat is a self buff. Doesn't have a range.
Okay, because in ship distances, keep in mind that a square in ship combat is not, isn't 5 feet.
Yeah. Basically, I'm saying is I'm going to use Black Hat as sort of a buff, so to speak, to use the Roustabout's electronic warfare suite, kind of. That makes sense. Basically, hacking with the ship, but using Black Hat to bypass defenses.
That is going
creative.
to be very hard to do in a combat round. Because the roustabout systems aren't really designed for hacking other ships exactly.
Well, it's partially why I Black Hatted.
Alright. Yeah. I'm just warning you the DC will be rather high to attempt it.
Yeah. Let's say that's also the point of Black Hat. It gives me advantage on those things.
Okay.
So yeah, high DC, totally gonna own that, but also advantage on it. So potential success.
Alright. In that case, Patrick, you're up on the technical side of things.
Okay.
But I think your number is only like one lower, so you could still try the pinpoint
This
target.
is actually this would be a different one then. For power boost, basically drain non-essential systems to enhance. If you succeed, you may increase the next ship's. You may increase either the ship speed by half, making it to go faster, or I could boost the next maneuver roll by a pilot or gunner, which is about a D4 plus whatever my wisdom modifier is. So, would you rather us be speed or actually up our gunnery or piloting?
Alright. He's asking the crew, would y'all rather be faster or would you rather hit better?
Think we should take these things out.
Yeah, let's hit harder.
Alright, and that is a
And don't-
mechanic.
You can also use your bonus action as a tech to, still do the thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make that a roll attempt.
The thing. Where is
That natural 20, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely don't have. They definitely will not have advantage while shooting at you.
You obliterated my DC. Holy shit.
Well, natural 20 do that. Though,
No,
the
even
roll on
even
one's
the other-
pretty good, too.
No. That's not me doing my thing for you. That's me making the
that's Black
hacking
Hat.
attempt against
Okay.
the ship.
Oh, I thought, I thought
shit.
that was the bonus action.
No,
okay,
this is
okay.
me foregoing my action as a tech and doing something with my own powers.
Well, you took all my luck because
Sorry. Yeah, this is me using my own powers to try to hack one of the ships.
Alright.
Okay.
And you needed to make a DC 14, so no bonus from the technicians this round.
It's fine.
Patrick, go ahead and use
But-
your bonus action to try to compensate for the dogfight.
okay, and that's an intelligence roll.
Yes, it is
It's,
intelligence.
it's an intelligence save.
Oh, save. I just did a roll last time.
Oh shit. You beat the DC. It's 12.
All right.
Alright. Now, let's see. Pilots, or not pilots, gunners.
Hi.
Who are you shooting at?
Ship red.
Okay.
And it's just gonna be a standard attack again. At least for Francis.
You still have advantage. Or you have advantage again.
Nice.
Woo!
Well, you had advantage, so you take the crit.
Yeah.
So roll that damage twice.
The first shot was me calibrating the guns, I swear.
Well, I know. I take that back. You wouldn't
Two-
roll it twice. You should be able to just click on it. Oh wait, no, we don't have the weapons programmed in.
It's 2d8. There you go. Woo! Fuck.
It goes away.
Save me, robot Jesus.
It explodes
so much-
spectacularly. Over the comms, you hear the other one. You hear the other pro or the other drone.
It's also gonna
Android
be-
Heaven is real, and he goes there because he was obedient.
Well, I suppose you will join them.
All right, Jade. I'm going to assume you're firing at gold, which is really supposed to be orange. I guess
It's
Kinda.
probably the lighting.
it's probably the opacity. All right. I know I didn't say that.
Was Adrian able to take over the other drone?
No, he took over the red one.
Good job, Zach. Oh shit!
Don't worry though; he will have gotten some useful information out of that. I will not let that crit go to waste.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Adrian.
No, it's fine. It's just I wasn't told like which one I had taken over, so I had no
I was
way
going to
of.
assume it would have been the closer one.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't know which one I had, so I had no way of telling you which one not to shoot. So.
All right, Jade, you're up.
I'm just going to shoot at the other one, I guess.
Okay.
Advantage.
All right, 18's a good solid hit. And the damage on your missiles are 2d6 force. A huge section of its outside hull is gone now. Smoke is trailing out of it. I don't know. It's space. I don't know if you really see flame or not.
There's a little android floating in space.
No, you're pretty. At this point, you're pretty sure these things are drones. That there's not really like a physical robot, in there. The whole thing is kind of a. So it's on its turn. It kind of limps forward.
Still standard attack.
Oh man, I had not been giving it its piloting maneuvers.
So I've been giving Sarah a play-by-play of what's been going on because she's missing it. My thing is crit succeeded to hack it on a drone fighter. Didn't get told which one it was, so Francis crit hit it and blew it up. But I'm still getting info after the fight. She goes, "Oh, of course he crit hit it afterwards because you have too many toys." I'm like, maybe.
All right.
I was amused because I have those two drones still from the planet.
You've got the doggo too.
Yeah, but I haven't activated it or attempted to do anything with it yet.
No. That's you.
So-
you're
so
probably
I'm
going to
not
need some
counting
special
the dog.
facilities to really.
Yeah, I'm not counting the dog right now.
Adrian's not going to be happy until we have to buy a separate chip for all of his pets.
I mean, you wait. Some point by the end of the game, I'm gonna have my own battleship just full of like robots and drones and stuff.
Until then, though,
Yeah.
he's taking the side cargo compartment, and that will be the barn.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just give me a minute. I'll give you some. Didn't we essentially have like a robot wars kind of? No, we basically had battle bots periodically over the course of the campaign.
Yeah. Except now I've got like a murder dog and 2 flying human-sized murder drones. So
All right, it's going to attempt pinpoint targeting. Let's see. And your maneuver defense is...
Is it just my save?
Yeah, that's the DC. The 8 plus your proficiency
Okay.
plus your dex.
12.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so he definitely got that. So if he succeeds with his attack roll, he gets to add to the damage. Okay. So he gets a crit on the attack roll.
Oh boy. Rates for impact.
Alright, so his damage from his weapon is generally a d6 because it is an autocannon. So that makes it 2d6 essentially for this. Plus 2. So that is 11 points to the roustabout.
Ow.
Old health bar is looking a little rougher now.
Do you remember how much health the roustabout has? Oh, I see the health bar now.
Yeah.
I just had to drag the screen.
It was a little banged up when y'all got on board. It already had some damage. As of the beginning of this fight, y'all had like 24 whole points left. Out of like 32 or so that it has.
Something
out,
tells
so,
me I'm gonna try jury rig.
Well, it is y'all's action.
My technician will be to jury rig, or I will try to heal the ship.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for one more dogfight.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, it doesn't really matter which order y'all roll these in.
mine's an 11.
And you see, what did you need for dogfight?
I think he has to roll against it.
I've been rolling ass today.
The maneuver defense.
Alright, he got an 18 on his check versus your maneuver defense.
Okay, then that's fine. Then I don't get it, but I mean it's still standard attacks.
Yeah.
Let me get some water real quick.
So he would still get his advantage if somebody doesn't, undo that. Alright, jury rig, you need a DC 14. Don't worry about it too much, Patrick. Y'all are in, still in pretty decent shape, and he's in terrible, terrible, terrible shape. I'm certain, absolutely certain, Francis and Jade won't both miss this round.
Knocking on wood for you.
No, I was trying to jinx him. It'll be alright.
I know. I'm undoing the jinx.
And then I guess Adrian can do the bonus action thing to... Wait, does the disadvantage from dogfight come about regardless of whether or not you succeed?
I don't know. It says, however, while the effect of the maneuver is active, I don't think the.
Okay, we'll say it doesn't. Though personally, I think it probably should. But it's not worded that way necessarily.
The effect isn't active.
Alright, so that was that. So, gunners. You're getting no help from the rest of the crew this round.
Francis is just gonna hold down the trigger.
spray and pray. Tried and true methodology.
That's how I played paintball. Alright, a 15's a hit.
Nice max damage.
And it goes away.
Well, yeah. Thank you for choosing Roustabout Airlines.
My one regret is telling 2.0 that I love them.
So you fly through the little debris cloud. You know, you just hear pinks off your windshield.
Well,
Everybody takes a deep breath. And then Jim goes, great. You've got this. I'm going to bed.
good night, Jim. You earned your rest. Thank you for keeping the ship safe. Better than the Toreador.
Well, I'm sure your pilot tried to.
Sure he did. His name was Verker. He was a dentist.
For a
So he
second, I
was a
thought you said a
dentist?
dentist. And I was like, and he just a pilot on the side? What the?
I'm about to
Dent-
say my brain is unfortunately skewed in that direction because I work in a dental lab. So I heard dentist and I went, what?
Nice.
Pathkin dentist.
Mm.
But, so Jim stumbles back to the holding cell / his room. You know, shuts the door behind him. Probably shouldn't be disturbed for 24 hours.
I got this.
You exit the system with no issues, no further issues.
I guess we should take this thing to get checked up. Do you guys have a particular mechanic, or do you want me to look at it? I'm also kind of a mechanic. Just saying.
I
Didn't hear a word.
I can fix this up.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I will leave that to you.
There was no structural damage, so repairs are not too hard. You're just kind of having to go re-put on armor plating.
Let me see. Thanks. Oh, my mechanics is wisdom. Nice.
But that does leave the question of, where are you going from here?
Where are we going? I don't know. I just got us to a dog. Aramonto is just happy we got through the damn dog fight.
And then he's off that flipping moon.
Yeah. I'll go wherever you guys want me to go, but you got to tell me where we're going.
You may want to head back and talk to our somewhat employer, I forgot his name.
Achille Vasher.
Hilly.
How old is your character, Deca?
He's like 30s, I think.
Okay.
28.
When they say Achille Vasher, it clicks with you where you've heard the name Roustabout before. You've seen this ship on TV. Well, on whatever the, whatever it is, whatever it is they put shows on these days.
Driving,
back when you were
looking at the.
Back when you were in your early teens, there was a show about Achille Vasher. He was a xenoarchaeologist. Imagine if Indiana Jones and Jacques Cousteau were pushed together into one guy.
Oh wow! Is it like the Crocodile Hunter, but for xenobiology?
Maybe not quite as crazy as the Crocodile Hunter. Loved him, but not quite that crazy.
Right.
But he had a show that ran for several years, and it ended about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
The Roustabout was not the ship that he had through most of the run, but it was the one he had the last few seasons.
Like driving it, I'm just like, No fucking way.
What?
No way.
What?
This interior, minus like all the dings and dents, I saw this on TV when I was little.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all did.
Yep.
We're aware.
Well,
It's fun for the first little bit, then it just kind of the thin, fragile eggshell between you and the void of death.
I
there's
mean, we got through it.
also the toilet is iffy sometimes.
You
Well,
stuff a dead body in there?
I mean, to be fair, it's not even so much an eggshell between us and the thin veil of death anymore because I can let us breathe in space. But
I also should say our saving throw should be boosted by now because level 7 aura. Or sorry, level 6 aura. But it's okay. Know that for next time. Alright, well, onward to wherever that was.
All right. So y'all are headed back to beautiful Casparilla. Assuming y'all were planning to go back to talk to Achille.
It's been a while since we touched base with him, and he probably deserves to know what's happened recently.
Okay.
As much as we can safely tell him, at least.
right.
All right. So they give you the coordinates. You start. You head to the nearest crucible. Which it has a station around it, so you could stop there for repairs if you wanted to. For full repairs if you wanted to.
Right.
Doing that in a dock is a little easier from the character's point of view than having Patrick do it on the fly while y'all are hidden.
Right. We could probably stop there for a bit and do some repairs. It's up to you guys. I'm just piloting the ship. You guys are, Which one of you is the captain?
None of us really.
I mean, it was Hull, I guess, but he's
Danru.
You can't be captain.
You mean
You
Dan?
cannot be captain. Yes, Danru. God damn it. Twice in as many games as I've done that.
And right before Danner disappeared, it's like he was kind of grooming Kat, to take over. But she didn't seem thrilled about it though. Basically,
He just
Danner
wanted
was the
another
adult of
adult.
the group.
So
he
you
kinda
need
looked at-
another adult.
He kind of
You
looked
need
at
another
Kat
adult.
as the next closest to an adult.
I mean, I guess the pilots automatically take captain of this place. Whatever.
Jim's
No.
in charge.
Vetoed.
Vetoed.
I don't know. I like the idea. The new guy walks in. Who's in charge? Well, he kind of got kidnapped. Oh, well, I'm in charge. Now.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
Are we being commandeered?
He does have a really big sword, so
I have 2 really big swords.
The funny
I
thing
have a-
is,
And also, I would like to point out, you're not a part of that game. That's essentially what John did in the Cthulhu game, isn't it? I am the captain now.
Yes, the Cthulhu game started off with us on a boat, and he was telling the captain that every couple of rounds.
I will say, I do have a bit of a way with words when it comes to diplomatic actions. It's kind of part of my duties as the keeper on the Toreador. Just saying.
Now he's campaigning to be in charge.
I don't want to just hostile takeover. But if no one else
I want you to vote me in so you
for it.
think you had a choice.
basically how we've been running the ship, more or less, is it's more of a democratic system. No one's really the captain.
But somebody has to speak for us.
I guess that's usually been Cat. Since,
Cat or me
Dan.
or Danru.
Yeah.
Or
Weird
Jim
shit.
when it comes to just the everyday discussing things with officials as you dock and undock and stuff.
It's not so much that we have one person that does everything. It's everybody has their own do, and then we just sort of let them do it.
Okay.
But anyway,
Well,
you dock the ship without any trouble. You spend maybe a day at that first station. They get the ship patched up. They don't ask too many questions about what happened,
I lived. That's
know.
all you got to know.
Yeah, one of the guys is kind of like, pirates.
Yeah.
Yes, let's go with that.
Because the ship's,
It was-
the ship's taken some damage, but no structural damage, So it doesn't look like y'all nearly died or anything.
Fortunately, our weaponry is better than the other people's weaponry, which is, I guess, how dogfights work.
The guy's like, I wouldn't know. I'm just a mechanic.
He's like fixing the gun. He's like, oh.
But so you spend a day on the station. It's nothing special. Plenty of shops, places to stay. Though, I'm sure you guys just sleep on the roustabout.
Sure.
Uh,
It occurs to me I don't have any money.
Nope, you left your wallet on the Toreador. And now
Happened.
or at least its atoms are floating out in space. Or your pilot ran away and is spending your money, one or the other.
Damn it, Verker.
Don't get your hopes up, he's dead. So yeah, you spend a day there. If there's anything particular you wanted to do at this station, you can. Otherwise you just stay there for a day and you move on.
I mean, I don't have anything less than the guys do.
Does the station have a guns and ammo store?
Yes. Not anything super fancy particularly, but you can definitely stock up on your ammo. For the roustabout, you can replenish your supply of missiles. And you had looted Hunter, hadn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What do those? What did that cloak and the visor do, respectively?
Yeah.
I can identify that. Well, that's just anyway.
Yeah, roll to identify stuff, Patrick. I forget exactly how that's handled in this, but
Can I take 20 on those? Because we'll have time.
You've had a couple of days of travel time, so
Yeah.
There's Hunter. Let me look at what he's got. Okay. The cloak was nothing particularly special, other than the. It's camouflaged. It had this weird leaf design to it, so it's kind of, I guess you'd say, ornate, but camouflaged. If that makes any kind of sense.
It's a very well made ghillie suit.
Kind of. At least from the back, yeah.
From the back, and
or if you pulled it around, yeah. The mantle part is solid, but then everything else is like these individual little leaf designs linked together. Let's see. You stripped him out of his armor.
What was his armor anyway?
I know I wrote it down somewhere, but apparently that was not on this sheet. It was some of the more expensive light armor, I think. Let's see, weapons. It was the infiltration suit.
Infiltration suit. That is the best one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the best of the light armor out of the base book. He had a high deck, so he didn't want to go medium armor or anything.
Yeah, I might actually see if I can use that.
Well, it's designed, It's designed for a human, so. Though,
What is
truthfully,
cat
it
wearing?
would be easy to adjust for that.
Yeah.
So you can decide who gets that. The cloak will give you advantage on stealth saves in natural environment, in a like forested environment. It's not going to do you any good in the desert.
Yeah.
And I guess if you went up somewhere where some planet where the leaves are purple, it's not going to do much for you. But
Guess not.
and that's not a randomly chosen color. There are creatures that can photosynthesize, and that they're purple though.
Mhm.
And the visor.
The visor is really just an augmented reality thing. It's kind of like Cat's mask, where Adrian can send information to her through it, and she can look stuff up on it. Now it does do like night vision. It would, to somebody that does not have dark vision, it would give you dark vision.
Francis is just gonna offer the visor to Jade. Hey, want a new toy?
She may have
What
already
does
bought
it do?
or
She
did
has
we
a
just-
flashlight.
That's right, because the night vision goggles were expensive. The real prize is his sniper rifle.
Naturally.
Go on.
Oh.
What do they call it? Forge. Basically, it's a +1 sniper rifle.
Nice.
It was created using Esper abilities, or however forging works. Created in a crucible.
So that's a +1 to hit and damage, or
Yes.
just
It is a +1. In D&D terms, think of it as a +1. It's just a +1 weapon.
Does Jade need an upgrade?
Well, I mean, could use it. Then yes.
So somebody jot those down so we remember what he had.
I will. Aramanto will have probably taken the cloak unless somebody else wanted. Particularly.
Actually, maybe we should give the sniper rifle to Kat when she gets back. If she wants it.
Aramanto will take the time to take off his coat. You finally see like his armor for what it is. It's real heavy armor, and then you see the little orbs that surround it with blue light. Puts on the cloak.
So they see your fully exposed rig.
Yeah, they see the rig. It's like a almost like a breastplate that's on top of the heavy armor. Nice and veiny, which is. I should have said out that, but okay.
Yeah, phrasing there, buddy.
Yeah.
But anyway, the trip back to Casparella is hang on. What do y'all do with Marrow?
I say we just kick his ass off at the station.
He will be fine with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if that's all he wanted, then that's what we do.
After what happened, he's fairly certain his ship was probably blown up like they tried to blow the roustabout up, and like they obviously blew up the Toreador. It doesn't seem to bother him as much as it bothers Aramato, maybe.
I was attached to my crew.
Yeah, his
probably
pilot
like
was not a
mercenaries.
buddy. His pilot was a employee.
Yeah.
It sucks that Bob's dead, but everybody I came on this trip is dead, so
Me too, buddy. Me too.
So yeah, the second y'all cut him loose on the station, he's gone. He's rich. You have no doubt he can get fare to wherever he needs to go.
Should have asked him for some money before he left. Gas isn't free, guys.
Well, he saw how excited y'all were over the stuff you'd loot. He's like, oh crap, these guys have got no money. I gotta get out of here. before they think to ask me for something.
And also, I want to say, every time we come back here, we basically get to fill up for free, don't we?
Yes, once you get back to Casparella, yes.
Okay.
This first little station you stopped at was just the first, the first crucible y'all hit. Y'all stopped for repairs. And then you jump from that one to the closest crucible to Casparella, and it's, your overall travel time is about a week to get back. As you're leaving that initial station that you docked at, as you're leaving that, Jim finally comes out of his room. He slept for about 24 hours straight. He has showered and shaved. He's back to his old self. Mostly. Give me insight checks.
Ooh.
Because that's actually something I can write down.
10.
Insight. Oh, there it is. Huh. Unless Francis is rolling with advantage. That's a wide margin there, Francis.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Francis, when you see Jim walk out, he's back to his old self. Great. He seems.
Hey, Jim, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Nothing like a little sleep.
I get the image of like Francis doing like the finger guns as he's coming down the gunplay too. That's
Little missiles come out of them.
Oh, that's right. Zach wouldn't have seen me do the little finger guns. I will.
Yeah.
Adrian, yeah, Jim seems fine. Not that you're paying a lot of attention. You've got robot dogs to work on and stuff,
I'm busy flying.
Where did you roll? Oh, were you the 12?
No, I rolled a 10. The 12 is you.
Not the 12 at the bottom. There was a 12 further up. Because I see where Jade rolled. I see where B Noble rolled.
I rolled with my dice.
Oh, that's right. All right, so yeah, and you don't know Jim that well, so you should probably.
I'm busy flying. I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any context to that.
Once he's back up, Jim spells you, and y'all kind of swap back and forth.
Okay.
For most of the journey.
Yeah.
Hull and Jade. Jim seems a little off. He seems a little. I don't know if skittish is the right word. It's like he's just not quite as talkative as he was. It's not major. It's just enough that you sit there and kind of wonder, are you really okay? But you choose how you respond to that.
Oh, wait till we kind of disperse a bit, and then I'll actually ask Jim to see how he's doing.
Oh, I'm fine. I mean, I'm shook up. It was kind of rough, but I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm gonna have to make another insight roll.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, can I make? Ooh. Never mind. Well, I'll roll with it. Oh no, I can't beat a 23 no matter what.
No. Patrick specifically said he kind of waits till everybody's dispersed, so this is.
Oh, okay,
this is
yeah.
talking
Okay,
to Jim.
fair enough.
Imano.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me a roll, Patrick.
Oh dear. Okay. Go away notification. Thank you. Yeah, I can't beat the 20.
Okay, yeah. You take him at his word. Okay. Yeah, he's a little off, but it's just, he just shook up. It's fine. You realize his life has probably been put in danger more since hiring him with y'all than,
Ever.
Probably than ever, at least since before the show shut down. That's one thing Aramato would also learn. Jim was the pilot for Asher back when they did the show. You know, he was a pilot and kind of backup cameraman.
That guy!
And would occasionally appear
Holy
on camera,
shit.
but not very often. But, you know,
Right.
he's 15 years
They cut to the
older and,
cockpit.
you know, had been retired before all this went down.
That's really cool. He would eventually go into the dude. I was your biggest fan at one point, but
No autographs. And then you wake up later and he's taken a Sharpie to your wig and written his name. All right, Jade. What do you do with this impression you've gotten from Jim?
Honestly, she doesn't really seem like the touchy-feely type. She's probably just going to take him for his word that he's okay. And, you know, time heals all wounds and all that jazz.
No, he's not okay. Well, he'll probably be okay in a little bit.
At some point, like, even though I didn't, like, I believe him, or that I don't notice anything, I will still, like, you know, you were shot at for, like, 2 days. Are you hurt?
What? No. I mean, the ship took the damage. It was just, you know, a trying... You know, and you get him to open him. He talks about, you know, yeah, that was kind of a trying experience, and, you know. I was pretty sure I was going to die there for a little bit.
Nah, we weren't good.
You know, I'd seriously consider just running, but, you know, I couldn't just leave you guys behind. Well, I mean, I couldn't leave the guys behind. I didn't know you.
That's fair. No, that's okay. Here, let me see. Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, wow, I did not put that up. Oh, it's healing.
But eventually you arrive back at Casparilla, or the station above Casparilla.
Yeah.
Armanto, you've never been to this world. Just a quick read up on it, you know, you hit his Wikipedia page or whatever. It is a agricultural world. It's of no real importance other than it's kind of the midway point between two different systems that have a crucible. So they get a fair number of travelers through.
Right.
Its largest population center is actually the station in orbit around the planet, which handles all, you know, pretty much all the incoming traffic. Like I said, agriculture. There's several different groups of basically kind of Luddite-oriented cultures. There's a very large Amish presence on the planet. You know, it's not everybody. They've got one or two decent-sized cities down there, but it's a whole lot of open farmland, and you know.
I respect it.
You know, the richer people in the system tend to live on the station, like Asher. You know, the station is, you know, think something New York City sized. It's pretty good, pretty sizable. So as soon as you dock, you get a message from Asher. He would love to speak to y'all as soon as, you know, as soon as it's convenient for you. I mean, because you had, let's see, the last time y'all spoke to him, he had sent you off on that fake mission, or that he had arranged for you to get that fake job to go check out the carvings in that mine. Which is what led to the whole discovering that the colonists in that world were hiding the fact that there was an intelligent species on the planet.
Yep.
Or at least a quasi-intelligent species, yeah.
So, what
just ask.
are we doing here?
This is actually a side thing. I just realized we haven't been raided yet.
Yeah, we didn't last week either,
Oh.
I think about it. Oh, well, maybe they're busy.
They have something that takes.
And I think we're not the only people they raid. I think it wound up landing on us several times. Anywho, where are we going? Oh yes, and while you've been gone, and it may have even happened before you arrived, where on ROS 5, the moon, the people of that world have publicly released the information on, hey, there's intelligent species here. You know, the authorities have moved in to check out what's going on. You know, they have spun it to put themselves in the best possible light, of course, but as they had agreed, you know, as the agreement you had made with them, they have released the information. So,
Yep.
the mayor wasn't doing any double dealing or anything, so you don't have to dime them out. Now Aramoto was asking something.
I was mostly just asking what are we doing here, and then I believe Hole said that we were doing a side thing. But honestly, I'm just glad to be in lush vegetation where the trees aren't going to hit me.
Well, there's a few potted trees here and there in the station. Then you can hit the
Yeah,
parks
they're
and stuff. Yeah, you can hit the parks and stuff where there's big botanical installations.
Yeah, but they're not gonna hit me.
Oh no, that's true. Or if they did, it would just be once as they fell.
I also am secretly carrying a piece of those woods, even though I know it's not like the tree itself. I know it was like a creature. Still have a piece.
Feed me, Seabourn.
I brought a clipping.
Wanna graft it onto another tree.
I've got my own little whomping willow planted in my room.
Psh, psh.
This eating flies every day.
I feed it little bits of ham, you know, off of my salad, and it slaps my thumb every time I do it.
Psh. You say that now, but I'm gonna do that just to spite you.
So, is there anything y'all want to do before you go talk to Achille?
You can always just fill Aramatsu in.
Oh yeah, nobody's told Aramato. Okay. Adrian, how much information do you disperse to the party?
About
What you talked to Hunter about, because none of them can understand you.
none of it.
I will call you out on that. Adrian, I noticed you were speaking to that guy. I mean, don't understand it or anything, but I recognize language when it's being spoken.
Okay.
What's going on with that?
We were talking.
Yes, and you made me stay my blade.
Yeah, because I
So-
made a deal.
That's
Which
vague.
Which was that he got to live for information that I can't share.
You can't share or won't share.
Yes.
Just give. I activate the 1,000-yard stare and walk off.
I'm picturing the whole, you know. And then you stop off in a huff.
It's not a huff. It's a breeze of leaves.
Which is the first time you realize the cloak does kind of make that noise if you swish it quickly.
I like that.
God, this is a well-designed cloak. I hope you
It's
spent a
nice-
fortune on it.
That's the nicest thing Aramanto's ever had.
So anyway, you arrive at, if there's nothing you want to do on the station before you talk to Achille, you arrive at his place, around dinner time, kind of how he always, you know, it always seems to be lunch or dinner when he has y'all over for one of these little meetings. As always, you knock on the front door. Basil answers the door. I'm glad to see you're all well. I was terribly sorry to hear about Master Danru. I'm sure we'll find him eventually. Or you'll find him eventually. Please, come in.
Gonna duck out for a sec.
Okay. So he ushers you in, back to the dining room, like usual. Our motto, it's like wood paneled walls. There's an occasional, animal head, taxidermied and hung up, or maybe replicas of ones. You're not really sure. Numerous artifacts from various cultures.
Great. I went from one hunter to another.
Yeah, there's not a lot of those. It's a lot more artifacts and stuff.
Okay.
One or two things you think you may recognize from watching episodes of his show. It's the kind of place you walk through it, and if somebody told you the archaeologist lived here, you'd go, yeah, I can see it. But it's also, there's a lot of stuff on display, but it doesn't feel cluttered. It's very kept up, very high class. Yeah. You pass one room that's clearly like a study library kind of thing.
Was any of this on the VODs?
No, you never saw his home.
Okay.
They did one or two episodes where you might have got a tour of their ship or something, but
okay.
He never really even talked about where he was from.
Do I recognize anything from like the VODs?
Yeah, you're a few of the artifacts you think you may remember seeing that before.
Oh God, that tooth! I recognize that tooth anywhere.
So you're ushered into the room. Achilles sitting at the table. He stands up and greets you. I'm glad you all made it back in one piece. Any leads on where they may have taken Danru?
Not really.
That is unfortunate. We may have to wait and hope they contact us. Oh, but where are my manners? Please introduce me to your new friend.
You just see him like completely starstruck. Just like this, like his hands are like in front of his face, like no fucking way.
And Achilles pretty much looks like you remember. His hair's a little grayer. He's still in decent
Still
shape.
grayer, but yeah. It's like you see the buff dude after like 20 years. It's fine. Looks a little flabbier, but I mean that's just what age does.
Yeah, and it's not real pronounced with Achilles. But he steps forward and offers his hand. Achilles Vasher, pleasure to meet you.
Armando Sarati. Oh my God. Wow.
He just kind of you watched the show.
I watched the show. That was everything to me. I loved that show. It inspired me to be more than I was at the time.
You're gonna make me blush.
It's an honor.
Not to get right down to business.
Tell me. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
But and he looks over at the rest of the party. How much does he know?
Nothing.
Well then, it's story time.
Yes, what do you decide to tell Achilles? And for that matter, what do you want Armato to
What are you
know?
going to tell me?
Because all Armato would really know is this whack job hunter lured us here. He lured you here. He lured Muro's folks here, apparently.
I know he kidnapped their guy, and I
Yeah.
think that's about it.
You know, and clearly he was an Esper, but that's not super, super unusual. Because all the bargaining was pretty much done in Ikajati, so you don't know that language.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of what references they've made since then. You would have heard Francis tell Jim that killing that guy would have only been an inconvenience to him.
Yeah.
And you might not have known what to make of that.
I say we leave out all the bits about the semi-immortal energy beings at war with each other, and just keep going with the
That none of you
unusual
know
cult.
about.
All of us were here for the whole energy being war thing, so
You guys were. I wasn't.
Yeah. Armato would not know that. But just from the time you talk to the Ganialo, you know them and the Primoran are, kind of at odds.
Mm.
Adrian now knows a lot more than that.
Yep. And he's not saying a damn thing.
Because he's a hoarder of information.
He is.
Cat will have
I'm
to
not
grab by the ear at some point and make him let loose of some of it.
We shall see.
Alright. So, y'all sit down for dinner. Achille asks you, once he kind of establishes that Armato is part of the group, even if he's not necessarily in the know about everything. He'll sit down. He'll catch Armato up for any information that he has that you don't have. So, because he tells you he wants you to know, if you're joining up with them, he wants you to know what it is you're getting into. At least as much as any of them do. He shows you some footage of a gunfight that happened on this station. It's how he met these folks. They were all unloading on the station individually. Well, Kat and Adrian were together. Francis and Jade were together. Danru and Hull both arrived, separately. And they were just all basically in the same hallway, having unloaded from the ships. When two men attacked a courier that was bringing was transporting an artifact to Achilles. The party moved in, saved the guy, took out the attackers, who did not seem to be that worried about self-preservation. They were just worried in basically putting as many rounds into the device as possible, or into the artifact as possible.
Interesting.
In that fight, they spotted, when they killed one of them, this sort of rainbow kind of prism effect. The way I described it at the time was, if you've ever taken a water hose and kind of, put your thumb over it and kind of sprayed it out, it would catch the light, right, make a little rainbow.
Yeah.
That's about what it looked like. So not super bright, not real noticeable when you're in bright lighting. In the initial fight, I think only Kat actually managed to see it.
But now on the VOD,
Jade did too.
Was it Jade? Okay.
But on the VOD,
Jade
now on
and
the-
Cat.
Oh, it was both of you? Okay. I was thinking it was just one of you.
But now that it's on the VOD, everyone can see it.
I can't remember if they had footage of that one. There's at least some later attack where they've got full footage of it that he shows you. He tells you these are some sort of energy creatures. Let's see. Did y'all know the name? No, y'all did not know they were called Primora until you talked to the Ganialo.
Yep.
So he's like, these creatures, they seem to possess people. I think you had figured out already that they were mostly possessing bodies. Or at least people that had gone missing already in some way. And they seem to be deeply opposed to us researching this extinct species. He pulls up some footage from the last season of his show. He goes, we did an episode on this new race that was discovered, but we discovered an outpost of theirs, so we knew they were spacefaring. Didn't get a lot of information out on them, and I have been piddling with research on them in my retirement.
God, that last episode was such a cliffhanger.
But so anyway, I knew a fellow that had this artifact. He refused to sell it. He had passed away. I'd bought it from his estate. His children were a lot less attached to his stuff. So it was getting shipped here. That's what the attack was about. And basically I hired the group to go out and do my research for me. I'm not as young as I used to be. And since there were active hostiles, these folks seem to be very capable of taking care of themselves.
I mean, yeah, look at that guy. He's pointing at Danru.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
But
But he's
I
like,
also recognize sentinel abilities.
The deal I have with them is essentially they get the use of the roustabout and Jim piloting for them, and you can go about your own business. You're essentially on call. It's like I have you on retainer, basically. When I have a lead for you to follow, I call you up. The last lead I sent them on was some carvings in these old mines. The mines linked into a cave system. But with all the trouble we had been running into, we had arranged it to look like it was a side job they had taken from somebody else. And I guess that's what I'm needing you to report on. What did you find out? I mean, other than I suspect you were involved with the sudden discovery of intelligent species on that planet.
Yeah, we kind of got sidetracked with that.
It sounded like something that needed to be revealed.
Yeah, they were. Because apparently the ruins that we discovered, they were living in the cave system there.
Yeah, it was their home.
Had they been there for long? Because the planet had been actively mining that spot for a while. I mean, it had been abandoned, but
We suspect they might have actually immigrated there. But the fact they've come that far into mostly the colonized area surprised even them.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of movement, because, well, though the colony's only been there 100 years, so. It's fascinating to see a culture or a species in its infancy like that. It'd be like if we could go back and look at the Neanderthal.
And this is actually me out of character here. Are we going to actually give him more of where we discover the ruins may have been involved with that species, and apparently the ancestors of that intelligent race were actually brought there? Because I think we actually determined that.
Alright, what you had determined was the Ekajati had been on that world at some point. Or somebody had been there using the Ekajati language. The cave carvings were basically where they had seen the writing, they had copied the writing, but their copy was imperfect, so even with Adrian's ability to translate the language, some of it was coming out as gibberish. But the numbers, the coordinates, which were basically expressed as numbers, were fine. They were still legible. And then, when you were speaking to the Ganialo, you found out, it had been one of their projects. The particular species that lived on that continent was in danger of going extinct from an ice age, and they had gathered them up and taken them to that Dyson sphere. Where they've also got a viable population of Neanderthal, they've got a viable population of Denisovans. They've got an early prototype species of Francis's people. It's like, at least the ones you spoke to, it's like they go around trying to preserve intelligent species before they go extinct. So how much of that you want to tell Achille is kind of what you're discussing. You know, he knows it was the Ikajati language on that world. That's why he sent you there.
The plot's of Mass Effect.
Well, in all fairness, this setting is highly Mass Effect inspired.
I don't know what you're talking about. Crucible is a very commonly used word.
I honestly think it would be a bad idea to tell Achille about the Dyson sphere at that location, so we can just tell him it led to it was a point in the shortcut, but it wasn't anything that unusual.
Okay. Give me a bluff.
That area is
Deception?
Yes, deception.
Yeah.
Deception.
Oh,
Finally rolled something decent.
I knew you could do it.
But he had yet to prove it.
Damn it!
Jesus, get dunked.
So Achilles like, so the coordinates didn't lead anywhere. I mean, to the shortcut, which is actually fairly interesting on its own.
No, like nowhere. Nah, just space. Right, guys? Just space. Big, wide open space.
Well.
My God, this steak is delicious.
Oh yes, it's Basil's specialty. Still, it's very interesting that it leads to the shortcut at all. I wonder how the two are connected. Of course, every currently living species has spent at least a few decades trying to figure out the shortcut. Yeah, I suppose it's possible that Ekajati, or no, he would not know. He would not know. I suppose it's very possible that our mystery species had spent some time studying it as well. No. Let me go back again. He would know the name Ekajati because y'all have translated the language by this point. His pronunciation might be a little off because it's essentially him looking at a dead language. Where Adrian has got the advantage of having heard the language spoken in his head, so he actually knows kind of how the pronunciation goes a little better.
Well, he's also been talking to somebody too, so
Yeah, he has now, yes.
he's apparently able to be understood somewhat decently.
Ekajawaddle.
Alright, so basically the story you feed Achilles is, we took the coordinates, it led to the shortcut. Nothing interesting happened there. We took a side job, Danru got kidnapped. One of these rainbow-colored nut jobs, wanted to play the most dangerous game with us, And we did kill him for some reason? In fact, Achilles will ask you about that. So what sort of deal did you make with him?
But do we tell him that we found him and made a deal, though?
I would assume.
I mean, unless the rest of the party's going to, because Adrian won't.
Well, there's got to be some explanation for where you ran into Armato.
Could actually explain the most dangerous game situation deal was us finding more information about Danru, which at that point, he actually didn't know what happened to Danru.
Ah, so you're going to leave Achille with the impression that, the deal is we can call this guy back, and he will let us know any information he's found about Danru.
Yes.
Okay. Roll me a deception.
Oh, wonderful, my. I'm going to suck at this.
Look, not being a good liar is not necessarily a bad thing. It means you are a good person. Do you have no charisma modifier?
No, I don't.
Groovy.
You probably can tell I'm holding a little something back, but you probably can tell I'm not telling him the whole truth. There's some truth to it.
Yeah. He just nodded and said, okay, yeah. That showed great restraint. I'd have been, in a similar situation, I'd have been very tempted to just plant him.
I almost killed him like 3 times.
Yes, dreadfully sorry to hear about your crew. I wonder how many ships of folks have met that same fate.
I wonder how many will continue to meet that fate. Layers at.
Perhaps we should alert the authorities. It wouldn't stop him from setting up a similar operation somewhere else, but at least they could keep an eye on that moon in case he brought anyone else there. I mean, it's way out in the no man's land, so I'm not sure who would really have much in the way of authority out there. But
who knows?
But as the dinner wraps up, he's like, "Well, I don't have any more leads to send you out on right at the moment. So I guess you're free to, take whatever sort of side work or take some time off or whatever it is you wish to do. Of course, I'll be in touch with you, if I manage to find anything else. Let's see. Anything else you want to tell you? At some point, he will make some comments about that last job y'all took. Because the footage of Danru lopping someone's head off on stage in front of, 1,000 screaming teenagers was, it got around.
Oh, you have the bot for that? Let me see that.
Oh yeah, you see this big Esper fight on stage, and yeah, it ends with Danru wearing a human-looking face, if I remember right. Though you can still make out the jet black eyes. And yeah, he winds up taking his pole arm and lopping the guy's head off is how the fight finally ends.
Wow, he has a pole arm. That's super cool. How did he get kidnapped?
The client they had been hired, or the woman they had been hired to protect, this pop star named Stella, who, by the way, is getting quite a bit of publicity out of this. She had been injured in the fight to some degree, and he had gone back to help heal her and some of her regular security folks. And I want to say they gassed them all. And if Danru was still awake, there may have been some threatening. Basically, you come with us, and we don't wipe these other folks out or something. I forget exactly. It's been a while back now.
Right.
But it was handled with some subtlety, and and after he'd already been in a big fight, so. And off camera, so and off camera where I didn't have to dice the stuff out. So.
Right.
But
okay, the tracks.
So that's where he wraps up. So that's kind of where he wraps up the meeting. Of course,
I
it's like,
guess,
you
like-
know, if you run across any information, if you get any information from this hunter, let me know. If you find any leads on Danru, I realize these folks probably aren't the sort that are going to go for ransom. You know, if they do, let me know. You know, I know your funds are more limited than mine.
I'm actually pretty broke coming. My wallet was on the Toreador. It went.
The least of your losses, I'm sure.
R.I.P.
So as you break, Basil shows you out. You know, he tells you again how sorry he is to hear about, you know, Danru's disappearance.
I'm just there, like, shaking his hand, like, it was such an honor to meet you. I am so happy. I'm still grief-stricken, but I am so happy and taking my mind off of it with this.
He's like, oh, well, I'm glad we were able to take your mind off it for a little bit. And Basil made a few appearances on the show as well.
Yeah.
Because he did travel, still in kind of the butler manservant role, but he did travel around with Achille then.
It's been a very whirlwind of emotions for the last couple of months. But this is pretty good. Glad I'm off that fucking moon.
Well, I'm glad you got off to it. I'm sure we'll see you. You know, I'm sure we'll see you some more
Absolutely.
as you continue with this business.
Still like shuffling out with his hand like this.
So eventually, y'all head back to, I guess, to your ship. Let's see. Our time is about up for tonight. So, when we start up next week, what does the party want to do?
Find some work, I'd imagine.
Earn some money to pay them bills.
Yeah, basically.
Absolutely.
Also figure out who gets what, because Cat's not here.
Yeah, we'll bring that up.
About to ask, she probably like the infiltration shoot, although it's just a really good light armor.
Yeah.
You said it was like full or something?
Going to put divide loot in the chat, so I will see it next week and remember.
Yeah, it's also, like, if she's hitting things, because she has a tendency to hit things at a long distance for death strike, sneak attack. Having a +1 sniper rifle that hits like a runaway train, adding in death strike on top of that.
Yeah.
Now,
Probably
keep
pretty
in
good.
mind too, the station at Casparilla is a big city. You know, Patrick mentioned the infiltration suit would be nice. You can go out and buy an infiltration suit.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just expensive.
it is. So you'll probably want to be looking around for some lucrative job offers. I'll have you a small selection of them ready for next time.
I'm super into mercenary work.
Now you could also choose to continue investigating the Primarin Ekajati stuff on your own, keeping Achille in the dark. But we'll discuss that more next time when hopefully everybody's here.
I was like, Aramato has zero idea about any of that right now, so.
That's true. It's gonna be fun to see how in the dark Adrian can keep everybody.
Extremely, and I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll let you know when it becomes important.
Yes, when we're about to
Basically.
die.
Why are these guys feeding us the Rancor? Oh well, you see, it was this stuff that I knew about 3 months ago. I meant to tell you, but stuff happened.
Not even that. I was like, why are they doing this? It's because this reason. How do you know that? I hacked their shit.
You what?
Oh yeah, I forgot to give you the information you got out of that drone. Not that it was super useful, but they were programmed. Anytime they were given a signal, they were programmed to destroy any ships they found in orbit. I mean, obviously his little shuttlecraft was exempt from that. and he could program in others. You did find information proving that yes, they blew up the Toreador. They had destroyed.
He would share that.
They destroyed Marrow's. As soon as that Marrow ship left, they blew it out of orbit.
He would have shared that too.
So while he used Marrow and his buddies as something to attack y'all with, had they beaten you, they would simply have been the next something he hunted. Is the clear indication there. You find records of a couple of dozen ships that they've destroyed in a similar fashion.
Okay.
So you would have told me that the Toreador is confirmed blown up.
Yeah, he would have. The records it keeps only go back about 5 years. The drone is older than that, though it's been upgraded and tweaked.
Right.
But, they clearly either upgraded a hard drive or wiped a hard drive or something at some point. So you don't know how long he's actually been doing this.
Yeah.
But you've left him alive so he can keep doing it.
Yeah, basically.
Let that weigh on your soul.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't believe in souls.
No, he's not a good person. Adrian is primarily a person of self-interest.
He's chaotic good.
I think he's chaotic neutral, actually.
I'm looking at his sheet.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You've been playing him all wrong.
I could have sworn I put him down as chaotic neutral.
You can go ahead and change it if you want to. You've definitely been playing him chaotic neutral.
Yeah, he's not chaotic good.
He's not evil in the sense that he goes out looking to mess with people if they don't deserve it.
Yeah.
All right,
He's
but
not
we're going to...
evil, but he's definitely not good.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap here. See anybody come by to watch? Anybody watching this later? Or if we had anybody watching tonight, I never did check the counter. Anyway, tomorrow night will be the Wednesday night showcase where I believe we are doing our session 0 for V's Big Eyes Small Mouth game. Where we'll be doing character creation. I honestly don't know who all's playing in that one.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I know me and Decca. I don't know if it's everybody that was involved in the Icons game is moving over to this one or not.
It looked like somebody who hadn't been playing in a while is joining it.
I know they were going to ask Atlas because this is the sort of thing she was really going to be into. And hopefully she's gotten moved into college by now.
Otherwise, I'm not sure who.
And then
It's
Thursday...
probably us two and Maddie.
Do what now?
I was gonna say it's for sure us two and Maddie, and then whoever else after that.
Oh yeah, Maddie's definitely gonna be there. And then Thursday is Maddie's Curse of Strahd game.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything again until Monday with the escorts, and then of course next Tuesday will be us.
Yeah.
As we see what the Roustabouts crew decides to get up to next.
Yeah, because on Monday we're on a boat.
He put you on a ship. He's copying me. I don't appreciate it. Clearly, ships are my thing.
He's also a captain. What the hell?
I had noticed that as well. So anyway, again, I've been your GM for the evening, Jason, and with me has been Decca playing Armato, Eric playing Adrian, Zach playing Francis, Patrick playing Hull, and Anna playing Jade. And we will see y'all next week.
Night night.
Bye.